People expect a lot out of emoji. It is an extension of their language now. And so when they talk about anything with a friend and they want to be understood, and they can't quite come up with the right words, and they go to the emoji keyboard and they're looking for that right thing. They don't know what it is yet. But when they see it, they go, yes, I wanted a crab. Hello, my name is Jennifer Daniel, and I'm the design manager for the Google Emoji program. As someone who has kind of grown up with the internet and used it to understand who I am as a person, as an individual, and relate to other individuals, it's awesome that I can be making it professionally as well. My average day starts by checking my email, reading as much as I can online until my kids wake up, because then that's an hour and a half of wrangling children, and then get on the bike, take them to daycare. I take the bus, which is lovely, over the bridge into the San Francisco East Bay area, then go to a bunch of meetings. People think of careers as linear and with an upward trajectory, and that's just not how my life has ended up. I have bounced from illustration to design to journalism to data visualization, and now I have the privilege of working on emojis. We're just gonna meet with Seb, who's the PM for the emoji program. We have a number of things that we've slowly modifying.
There's a lot of like small fixes we did just from the user feedback.
It's easier for me to think about what I don't like about emoji than what I like about emoji. Mostly because what isn't there to like? And I know when they first came about, everyone thought they were extremely juvenile, but that's the beauty of language. That slang evolves into mainstream, which then gets introduced to the dictionary. They provide the cadence, the volume, your intonation, your body language, their punctuation. And without them, everything would be very dry. First thing I do when I come into the office is go upstairs and get a cup of coffee. Then I go to a meeting. Then I go to another meeting. Then I get another cup of coffee. Then another meeting. Maybe I'll sneak in some work time and a coffee and another meeting. And then a couple more meetings. It's not uncommon to get an email or a tweet or some feedback around why a certain emoji isn't or is a certain way. People are paying attention to the details of emoji more than ever before, and they file bugs. They say, this is incorrect. Look at how this emoji is rendered on a different platform. It's not the same on Google. Lots of different hardware devices have their own emoji fonts. Samsung has their own emoji font, Google has one, WhatsApp has one, and what I'm trying to do is figure out, do they understand each other? We were talking about fixing the guitar emoji.
Yeah.
When you put it next to our other musical instruments, which are more cartoonish and flat, we have these like hyper-realistic musical instruments, and I think we actually should take back a lot of the detail.
Remove the chin rest, or?
This guitar that Twitter has actually is probably a lot closer to what I think we should be aiming for.
That's true.
I've been thinking a lot about how people find new emojis, since over 80 are introduced every year, and people are largely unaware that there are new emojis to look forward to all the time. And one of the ways people find new emojis is the way they're grouped. For example, birds. People associate certain characteristics with birds, mainly flying. So when I ask you to think of what a bird is, it's far less likely you're gonna imagine a penguin than it is you're gonna imagine a pigeon, or an eagle, or a cardinal, or any number of other birds that fly. And so those are the kinds of questions that I would like to work with and think about and consider when we think about illustrating concepts. And so when I hear animals in nature, what do I think? Do I think the same thing you do? So skunk is an emoji that's proposed for Unicode 12.0. So they traditionally add keywords that you would associate with this. And if you look at these, what they're saying is, this is a skunk, but what it means is smelly. Proposing new emojis takes a very long time. When everything is so fast, it's hard for people to code switch and go, oh, this is something that takes a long time. We happen to have a new bagel emoji. That came from another individual who wrote a 15-point paper, many pages long, about why it would be used and why it was valuable and why it wasn't currently represented in the current emoji inventory. And then it went through a series of meetings and reviews. And then eventually it was adopted. Hey, Ryan.
Let's talk about emojis.
All right. I was thinking if we could look more at how the male haircuts look so they don't feel so white.
I feel like it covers more ethnicities and more backgrounds, but it doesn't read in like a cartooned kind of way.
Yeah, it does. It's too specific almost. We really want something that feels more abstracted. By its nature, emoji is slow. And the internet is very fast. And so I think a lot about, despite emoji's popularity right now, will it quickly become outdated means of expression because it can't keep up with the way people talk and relate and communicate? And I think the largest gap right now in emoji is representation and inclusion. It's very difficult to create a mixed race couple emoji for database reasons. It's 2018. That should be in the ecosystem. But largely the way Unicode makes decisions is database driven. And so we have this new feature where you take a picture and it turns you into emoji. It'll have my big black glasses with hard eyes, loudly crying, shocked. It'll render in the emoji expression. So I feel heard and recognized and seen in a way that it feels important to me.
More like a style with the little...
I love telling people that I work on emoji just because everyone has an opinion on them. They're like, nope, never would use it, not for me. And then there's other people who feel very passionate about it and will tell me the ones they don't like, the ones they wish they existed, the ones they use the most, how they use them. I have a friend who texts his wife, elephant shoe. He explained that when you mouth the words, it looks like you're saying, I love you. So rather than use any number of hearts, of which there are plenty emojis, they have their own language, but they use emojis that only they understand. When you're talking to people who you care about, you really need to be understood, they provide so much fun and so much use. Then after my last meeting, I go home, have some dinner with my family, take care of the kids, and then brace myself the next day.